Hi, today we are going to look at counter function in Excel and how it helps you in counting different values from cells. So for example, if you want to count certain values based on dates, or if you want to count certain text which is appearing in multiple places, so how it can help you to do that. Plus at the end, I'll share a tip on how I use it to find the duplicates and the order of occurrence. So I'll give you a quick tip on that one too. Let's get started. In this case, we have got an Excel sheet where we are trying to count the cells with specific text. Now, count how many times completed appears in the task status column. So for that, we'll type the formula COUNTIF, open parenthesis, select the range, I've highlighted that already in a color, comma, then what is the criteria? So the criteria is the word completed. So I have to put that in inverted commas. Close parenthesis, enter. And this is the answer, 27. The same can be achieved without having to type it. So for example, if I've already typed my criteria here, completed without any inverted commas in this case, I can use the same formula COUNTIF, select the range, comma, and select the criteria which says completed. Close parenthesis, and that's it. Same way, we can even find partial text. So for example, we want to find cells containing John in the customer name. So I've got John in multiple customer names. So let's see how we can find that. We'll put the same formula COUNTIF, select the range here, comma, inverted commas. Now, since we are planning to search text which is part of a complete text, not the exact one, so we will use asterisk, John, asterisk, inverted commas, close parenthesis, enter. This asterisk will help you eliminate, or let's say count anything where the word John is included in a text, or John is included as part of the text. The same thing in the criteria, here I've put it with the asterisk, John. So I will type the formula COUNTIF, select the range here, and select the criteria which is in the cell D8 in this example. Enter. Same answer. Now let's look at values. So let's say if you want to find out sales invoice amounts which are greater than 1000. How many sales invoices are there where the value is greater than 1000? So is equal to COUNTIF, select the range, comma, enter in brackets, greater than 1000. Then close it. Now we are using the same concept like we used in text. We are putting this greater than 1000 in inverted commas. If you had to find a specific value, so for example, if you're finding, let's say, invoices where the values are 930, so then you don't need to put inverted commas. You just put 930 because you're not going to use greater than sign or anything. Now, if you're going to use it or type a criteria in a cell, then COUNTIF, select the range, comma, select your criteria which says greater than 1000, close parenthesis, enter. So you get the same result. It works exactly the same way with less than. So if you're trying to find values which are less than a specific number, so COUNTIF, open brackets, select the range, comma, in the criteria, under inverted commas, I'm going to type less than 500. Inverted commas, close brackets, that's 21. And the same thing works even if you type the criteria in a cell. Quickly we'll do that, and we can see the numbers are matching. Now coming to the date part. In the date part also, if you're planning to use COUNTIF and you want to type the date manually, so let's see how it works. COUNTIF, I want to select the range because here we are trying to find invoices for a specific date, which is 1st of August, comma, the criteria here is 010825, close brackets, and I have got one invoice or one order. Now, on the other hand, if I'm typing the criteria in a cell, so COUNTIF, select the range, and select the value in the cell. The advantage of having the criteria in a cell is if you want to change it, so you don't have to change the formula completely. So for example, I want to find out, let's say 5th of August. So if I want to just change the criteria, I'll do it here in the cell and the values will get updated automatically. Okay. Last example in the standard counter function is to count blank cells. So here I can type COUNTIF, select my range. I want to find out cells where there is no invoice date. Comma the criteria, I just need to put inverted commas 2 times, close parenthesis, enter. So I've got 2 cells where there is no invoice date. Now as a tip, how I use it in day-to-day functions. So first one, I can use it to find duplicates. I know there are other ways. You can simply go to conditional formatting or you can go to data tab. But let's just see how the COUNTIF function helps us do that. So let's say I want to find out total invoices per customer. So I'm going to write COUNTIF, select the range, and in the criteria, I'm going to select the customer name itself. And now if I want to copy this formula down, it will change. So I'm going to fix this reference here. Copy this formula, and then I know how many invoices were raised per customer. Now the problem is, obviously, if the customer name is repeated multiple times, it shows the same number multiple times. So I want to understand the order of occurrence. So for example, if 2 invoices were made for Robert Smith, so which one is the first invoice in my list and which is the second one? My list is currently sorted by date. So here what we do is type COUNTIF, select the range. Is the same range. We are not selecting the range till the end, and the criteria is also the same thing. Close bracket. Now we'll just modify this. I want to fix the starting point of this range. So I will put a $sign before number 5. And now if I copy this formula down, so I can see the order of occurrence. So for example, for Robert Smith, this was the first invoice, and here I can see that the second invoice was raised on 5th of August, so on and so forth. This helps us a lot, even with the data migration. If you import a lot of data into different systems using Excel, so there might be a requirement where you need to put a series, a number in an order. So this might help you there also. Try it out and let me know if it works for you. Thank you and have a nice day.